Hello Scorpions, this is your mid-month of October forecast for October 2016. This is for October 15th through the 31st. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, this is for anyone born under the sun, the moon, or the rising/ascendant sign in the sign of Scorpio. And don't forget, you're made of more than one sign though. So check out your birth chart. There's a link in the description box to where you can go check it out for free. Pull up that information. If you have your birth time, which normally you can find on your birth certificate, then you can see what your rising or ascendant sign is. Don't forget to watch your monthly horoscopes for your moon sign and your rising sign as well as the sun sign. Also, if you would like a reading from me, a personalized reading for me to look at your chart and see what's going on with love, relationships, job, anything in life, go ahead and hit me up on my new website, which is indigomoon.astrology.com. There's a little I button up there, and there's also a link below as well. All right, now on to your general mid-month October forecast. All right, Scorpio, so we start out this forecast with talking about the Sun and Uranus in opposition to one another in the signs of Libra and Aries. So Libra Sun is in your 12th house of relaxation, of getting away from it all, of taking care of your soul. It's karma, it's subconscious thoughts and, things that have been buried back there for years. And then we have Aries, where Uranus is at in your 6th house of work and health. Okay, so there can be some sort of breakthrough that happens that shows you that you need to balance everything out pretty much, okay? Because these are both houses of balance. You need to relax and get away, and you also need to get work done. So you need to prioritize some stuff. And the Sun and Uranus energy, Uranus is very shocking and sudden, and it's a little outside the norm, outside the box, a little bit of a weirdo energy, if you will. So it may bring something suddenly to your work environment, like a sudden change or something, especially because the full moon happens on the 16th. The moon comes into the mix when it comes to Aries energy and your work and your health. So the moon is emotions. So there's an emotional thing, emotional change that happens when it comes to your work environment. But I would say, as a Scorpio rising, this is a message about balance. We need to balance things out, and the full moon brings things to like a final decision. So there's going to be a final decision that's going to be made for us, or that we need to make a significant change in the way that we work in our work environment. Maybe we need to change jobs. Maybe the job decides to change us out of nowhere, unexpectedly, which I'm hoping does not happen for any of us because we need that money, Also, it can just be a sudden revelation that happens. It's like with your health, like for the sake of your health, you need to learn how to relax a little bit more. You need to get away from the rat race. You need to get away from, everyday routines like driving to work, getting in traffic, doing all kinds of work duties and working overtime and all this stuff. Maybe this full moon will bring things to a head to where you're like, you know what? I can't take this anymore. I have to do something. I have to get away, and I have to think, and I have to concentrate on what it is that I need to do to really take care of myself. You can have something brand new introduced into your routines as far as how you care for yourself. Like maybe suddenly you find like a cure to something. You find some information to help you to be a healthier person, take care of yourself better. Just a personal example, because I'm also a Scorpio. I found all of a sudden, some YouTube videos of, how to take care of the body a little bit better with some, personal physical issues that I may have, and some different vitamins that may help with certain issues. So, I'm trying to incorporate that. The full moon energy is gradual. It builds up. It comes to a peak on the day that I talk about. So on the 16th, it comes to its full potential. But in the days building up to that, yeah, I did suddenly find like, oh my gosh, like I think this may be what I was looking for to help cure my health issues. And so I will try, these methods like vitamins or cleanse or whatever. You may suddenly find those things, Scorpio, with this full moon. So it doesn't have to be all scary and oh my God, something suddenly might happen to snatch things away. And Scorpios, we are a very fixed sign. We're a fixed sign. That means the fixed signs, they don't like to budge when it comes to change as much as other signs. So this can kind of create like a fear in us, about change. But this full moon can bring something that's a great change to us. So there's no need to be that classic Scorpio paranoia, but just be prepared for sudden unexpected changes around the full moon. On the 18th of October, Venus moves into Sagittarius. That is our second house of earned income. So let me tell you, Scorpios, with the full moon affecting our work environment and a sudden change there, Venus, which is a very positive energy, beneficial when it comes to money and the material world, moving into our area of life that rules money in the material world, there can be some Scorpios that all of a sudden find a better job, and it's one that makes them more money. And I will be so excited to hear from any of my Scorpios that this happens to. Hopefully some, good money stuff happens to me too. But hey, if it doesn't, Venus in the second, it can make you want to spend more money, just a fair warning, and spend it as fast as you get it, because Sagittarius energy, where Venus is at, even though it's our second house of earned income, Sag energy on its own, it sees no tomorrow when it comes to money. Okay, so be careful with the spending during this transit if you are trying to budget, or if you have to budget. If you don't, live it up, boo-boo. Spend away, go shopping, enjoy the material world as you deserve it. But yeah, this can definitely bring more money into your world, more possessions, more self-worth, because this is the second house of self-worth and self-value as well. You can start valuing things a lot better, like your material possessions or even yourself. So on the 19th, Mars and Pluto come together in the sign of Capricorn. For us, this is our third house. I would say, because the third house is all about short distance travel and communication. Mars is an aggressive energy. Pluto can be aggressive too, and it can be a little scary sometimes, very, very powerful, transformational, transformative, whatever the word is. It's pretty late at night, so forgive me if my English is bad. But Pluto can be a little intimidating energy, so Mars will want to initiate some aggressive, intimidating actions, okay? And this is our mind, so our minds may be on stuff like that a little bit more. Being aggressive towards people, try to avoid overdoing it with that, Scorpio, okay? Like trying to control other people and spewing out our ideals and what we think is right and wrong, and trying to make people conform within that and abide by like what we say, what we think is right, because we feel so like entitled to like power right now. Try not to get out of control and be negative with that stuff. But on the positive side, it can be giving us a very super sharp, even more sharp laser focus on things. Our Scorpio energy is already like that, but we are ruled by both Pluto and Mars. So both of our modern day ruler, which is Pluto, and our ancient day ruler, which is Mars, are coming together. This is a very powerhouse energy, and it's in our minds. So we can be very focused, we can get things done, we can study some stuff and really absorb the information. But this also is involving our speech. So try not to spew venom out at people unnecessarily, Scorpio. Just warning you of that. Since this also deals with short distance travel, I would say for my Scorpions, this whole week of the 19th, a few days before, a few days after, be very careful with traveling short distances, with driving around. Try to avoid road rage. You may be more susceptible to that during this transit, just a fair warning. But yeah, just be very careful traveling though. On the 22nd, the sun moves into Scorpio. OMG. So when the sun comes into our sign, this could be a time where we feel even more powerful. We feel even more like taking initiative and action into this world. On the negative side, we can be more like rah, in your face, like loud and like, this is me, this is who I am, this is what I represent, everybody needs to respect me, and that type of stuff. I mean, that type of energy usage can come into handy if you're in a certain lifestyle or profession where that is accepted, that is necessary to enforce like authority and action and aggression like that. But if you're not, you can come off as offensive to people, Scorpio. And trust me, as a Scorpio rising, I know we naturally come off as offensive to people, like by nature, because we have such a strong presence you know, underneath the surface, people feel our presence when we're in the room. People see us when we're like looking at them. They know a Scorpio is looking at them. Okay, they will glance at us and be like, "What you looking at?" So we're naturally very, very powerful people, and intimidating, unfortunately. But you know what? When this energy comes into play, that can be enhanced a little bit more. So just be mindful of that. But on a positive side, lots more energy. We'll be feeling good. We'll be feeling like we were reborn. Like when the sun was in Libra in our 12th house, it's like we were underwater and we're like, oh my gosh, like I can't see the surface. I can't like do life right now. It's a little difficult. But now the sun is out of there and we come here, you know, to get things done now. Okay, now it's time for some action, like Red Man says. And for a lot of my Scorpios, you know, when the sun comes into your sign, that means it's your birthday. So if you're a Scorpio sun, happy early birthday. Happy birthday to my October Scorpios. I hope you guys have an excellent month. And there's a lot more energy coming into our sign this month. Now we have Mercury coming into Scorpio on the 24th. When Mercury comes into your sign, let me tell you, you're going to be chatty Cathy or a chatty dude. Okay, just a very chatty person. Your mind is going to be whizzing around like crazy. Like you're going to be feeling very much like moving around a lot more, being a busybody. Your mind is going to be hard to keep up with physically. Your speech may be a little bit more louder and boastful because Mercury rules your speech. You may be typing a lot faster and texting a lot faster, and your speech may be a little bit more aggressive or come off that way unintentionally to other people. So try to remember to keep that under control, Scorpio. But Mercury in our sign is so positive. Like we're going to have so many more ideas, be able to think a lot clearer, but your thinking will be faster. So I will warn you of that. Okay. You may skip some things when your thinking process is going woohoo, like whizzing around. So just be mindful of that. But this is really a positive energy for us. So even more positive energy for us and our sign this month is a new moon in Scorpio on the 30th. So this happens in our sign. New moons are new beginnings because the sun and moon come together. They birth something brand new and they're like, voila, here you go, something new for you. So this can be in any part of our lives. Something new happens, a new beginning, a new job, a new career path, a change in even like our physical appearance. Okay, we may decide with all this energy happening in our first house, you know what? I think it's time for a change in wardrobe, a change in hair. Venus was in our sign, and Venus rules beauty and the appearance up until the 18th of October. So we could have been already working on beautifying ourselves, but now it's like, I really want to change some things about myself, like overall as a person, when the sun and Mercury come into Scorpio. Okay, so the end of the month, it's beginning Scorpio season, like for real. And it's going to be our time to shine, and time to take action and initiative and really show the world who we are. But just try to keep our aggressive stuff under control if we can. But it's really a positive end of the month for us and leading into more positivity for us into November. All right, Scorpio, so now I'm going to pull two angel tarot cards for us for October. One is for the full moon that happens on the 16th. The other is for the new moon that happens on the 30th. So I'll be right back with your cards to explain what the messages are for us. All right, Scorpio, so these are the cards that I pulled for us for the month of October. For the full moon, the 10 of Earth card came up, and it says a very happy family life, financial security, finding magic in the little things in life. So check this card out. This card, Earth cards, are usually about finances and the material world and, you know, financial abundance and stuff. And there are two angels on here. Yeah, they're angels. And they have two kids. Okay. Now, you see, it appears to me that the two angels may actually, and pardon me if this offends anyone, but they may actually be a couple, okay, a female couple, which is a little bit outside the norm, right? And then their kids, one appears to be a different race than the other. So what this tells me is that's energy that's associated with the planet Uranus, actually. Uranus is very outside the box and outside the norm, as I explained. And people who are open to these types of relationships and these types of, you know, childbearing, child raising, usually have a lot of Uranian energy somewhere in their chart, from what I have found, which means they are open to anything that's outside the traditional, and they tend to purposely gravitate towards anything outside of the traditional. So, because this is outside the norm, outside the traditional, and it is Earth, which is money and financial security, this is telling me that this full moon is definitely going to bring you something outside of the box as far as how you earn money. You may be called to switch career paths, like a totally different career path. Something that I didn't mention in the astrology part is this full moon in Aries, which is a fire sign, in your sixth house. It is also making positive aspects to your other money houses, the second house of earned income, and also the 10th house of career. So it can bring a change in career. It can bring a change in how you earn your income, and a change in how you work. Okay. All of those three things can be affected by this full moon. So this is saying a sudden change for, like, definitely for us, but it may be that we are being called to do that, and we need to make that change ourselves in order for us to be happy. And we're stubborn, we're fixed, we can be resistant towards it, but we need to make some sort of breakthrough financially for ourselves. And this is a very happy card. I mean, there's great happy colors in here. It's a very colorful card. That tells me that we do need to find a creative way to make money, a creative way to work and become more creative geniuses instead of doing mundane stuff. So a lot of Scorpios may just flip and switch and be like, one day I was a banker, and then the next day I just decided I'm going to be like a professional, I don't know, skydiver. I don't know if that career exists, but that's just an example of something totally crazy and different. Like, or I want to be a circus clown, and I was a professional corporate, like, bank officer, that may be some decisions that we start making with this full moon. So the happy outcome of this card validates for me that for a lot of us Scorpios, we need not worry about our financial security with maybe making a jump. Okay, because this card does say you will be financially secure. Don't be afraid to take that risk and jump towards some new opportunities in work, my Scorpions. So for the new moon in our sign of Scorpio on the 30th, there's two cards that came up. This card actually jumped out at me in the deck before I pulled one off the top. Okay, so this is the Six of Air. Now, six cards can be about worry. And then air cards are cerebral, they are mental, they're thinking. Now, the card itself says things are looking up, the end of a difficult situation, taking a trip. So check this unicorn out. There's a whole bunch of other unicorns behind this unicorn. And this one in the front looks like it was in the middle of running with a crowd. And then it just found this boat. And it just decided, you know what? I'm just going to jump in and take a trip and just take off. Screw what you guys are doing. I'm going alone if I have to. So this tells me that my Scorpios are embarking on a new journey. And this is that, energy that I was speaking about in the astrology part, that this is me, this is who I am. The color of this boat is blue, which is the color of the throat chakra, which rules our speech. So we are on a platform speaking, okay? Speaking our mind. We're not caring about what others think. I mean, look at the golden fiery color behind this unicorn. That means that it's really receiving some, power, some energy, some confident energy at that. So this is what the message is for us. One of the messages for us to, it says taking a trip, but yeah, we can do that. I mean, we've got Venus and Sag. Sag is all about taking trips, but I think this is more about us just speaking our minds and coming into like our true selves a lot more. because we're leaving behind the crowd back there. So it is all about us, Scorpio. Now, the card that I pulled from the top of the deck, as I usually do after shuffling, is the Ace of Water. So aces are like number one, and it represents a new beginning. Water is emotion, so a new emotional beginning for us. So there's a message on the card. It says falling in love or the resurgence of a relationship, spiritual growth and enhanced intuition, or a new home. So once again, that's a nice written message and all, but a lot of times I like to intuit things from the picture on the card and just messages that I get from, my guides, I guess you can say. This is telling me that there are a lot of planets that are hanging out and, making some energy come to life in our sign in Scorpio. But remember, that means that opposite to us is kind of highlighted as well, which is our seventh house of relationships. So this tells me that because we are feeling really recharged and good about ourselves, like embarking on new adventures in life and taking initiative and action, that we can be attracting other people to us. They see us as this confident person, and we're like, ooh, I'm getting things done and I'm doing something with my life, right? So because of that, people are like, hey, what's up with you, Scorpio? You look like you have everything going on for yourself in life, Even though we may not, we may be a little bit of a hot mess underneath it all. But we're making this appearance like we've got it going on because of the energy happening in our sign. And because of that, this can cause a new beginning in relationships. Maybe in an existing relationship, we may have to go back beneath the surface. This is what that's telling me, because his fin, or his or her fin, is peeking out above the surface, but it's going deep below the water. Okay, so this is like, yeah, we're feeling good about ourselves, but we can't forget about our partners if we're already in a relationship. The surface is up there, which is like, still keep in touch with up there, which means like the rest of the world and, us feeling good and getting out there and doing stuff. But don't forget about underneath the water, which is diving deep into emotions with another person. Don't forget about them. So maybe start a new beginning within your relationship to where, you feel good about yourself and you want your partner to feel good about themselves too. So, all this is me energy is great, but, on the opposite end of the spectrum, make sure that they are included in things still, and make sure that you don't forget about them. I think that's what this is saying. I can totally feel this message because I'm a Scorpio as well. So that's definitely what this is saying. So we are embarking on some brand new beginnings, some great things, Scorpios, but relationships are still, something of importance to some of us out there. So those are our cards this month for October for Scorpio. All right, Scorpio, that was your forecast for the mid to end of the month of October. I really hope it was helpful for you. And thank you for your patience with these videos. I did not get them out in the beginning of the month because when I started advertising my website a little bit, people were ordering a lot of readings for me, and I'm so excited. So now I am shifting more focus over into readings for clients because that's the direction that I want to go, and it's what I'm here to do as my divine purpose, and I absolutely love it. So if you would like a reading from me, go to indigomoonastrology.com, and I will be back doing the November horoscopes as usual. So I hope you guys have a great month. Once again, happy birthday to some of my Scorpions, and I'll see you guys in November for more of Scorpio season. Yay! All right, peace.